We're getting more information today about yesterday's school shooting in Uvalde, west of San Antonio.
We have team coverage in Uvalde tonight. Quita Culpepper and Tony Plohetsky are live outside Robb Elementary School where the shooting happened. Quita.
Ashley and Brian, it has been such a sad day here at Robb Elementary. All throughout the day, people have been stopping by. They've been bringing balloons and flowers. Incredible memorial is starting to build up outside at the Robb Elementary School sign, and along with the families and friends of those who were slain yesterday afternoon, Senator Ted Cruz just stopped by as well, visiting the site where 19 young lives and 2 teachers were lost. And our Tony Plohetsky has been here in Uvalde for more than a day, and he's been talking with people throughout this community. And Tony, people are just shattered. It's inconceivable that this could have happened here.
Trying to make sense of something where there is no sense that can be made. Quita, of course, this school is the epicenter of what happened, but the tragedy being felt throughout this community of 16,000 people. Quita, we want to bring people up to speed on the latest in the law enforcement investigation into yesterday's mass shooting here. According to officials, that 18-year-old gunman just last week bought 2 AR-15s as well as nearly 400 rounds of ammunition. That is according to a briefing that top state officials received late last night and this morning. Today, DPS officials as well as Texas Governor Greg Abbott described the fact that he apparently shot his grandmother in the face yesterday morning before coming here to this school. According to the governor and according to DPS, the gunman entered the school through a rear entrance, accessed 2 hallways before barricading himself in a 4th grade classroom. That is where officials say most of the fatalities inside the school happened. Again, 19 children and 2 teachers killed inside this school behind us here. As we mentioned throughout the day, officials have been trying to offer the most brief counseling that they can, happening at a civic center just a couple of miles to the north of here. Faith leaders have also been trying to console community leaders, officials, as best they can. We did have a chance to talk to one of the faith leaders here.
We are trying to be light for our community by providing for each other's needs, by holding each other, by being together, by supporting one another, so that whether darkness or light or up or down, that the community will find us and the world will find us together, banding together, holding each other up, supporting one another.
And Quita, that is what this community is trying to do here tonight. Console one another, hold one another, trying their best to comfort one another. Again, as authorities behind us continue to go through the scene and learn all they can about what possibly prompted this gunman to go on this shooting spree. But as of tonight, Quita, there is no motive.
And I know that the community is grieving. The waves of rage and grief that are washing over this town are palpable. You can actually just see it in the faces of everyone who's come here today and who's been walking around town.
Walking around town, when I checked into my hotel last night, the clerk at the hotel was by herself, but she was just literally crying when I checked in. So anywhere you go in this small community tonight, this small town, people are trying to wrap their heads around just what happened.
They are grieving, and we
will
are
be.
grieving
Will
with
be.
them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tony Plohetsky, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we are beginning to find out more about those young students who were murdered here at Robb Elementary yesterday. Natalie Haddad joins us now. She is in Uvalde with us as well. What we know about these victims so far. Natalie?
Hi, Quita. We can only imagine what it was like for the parents of the 19 students who didn't walk out of Robb Elementary yesterday after a man opened fire in a classroom that was joined with another. But as we begin to learn the details of those who lost their lives too soon, there is one thing that is in common with all of those that we are beginning to learn about, and that is that they were fiercely loved. as children filed out of Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, after a gunman barricaded himself inside adjoining classrooms. 19 young children never made it out alive, and we are learning more about the ones we lost too soon. Here's Eliana Cruz Torres in her softball uniform. She died in the shooting, her family now mourning her loss. And this is Xavier Javier Lopez, a 10-year-old fourth grader. His cousin says Xavier's mom was at his awards ceremony shortly before the shooting started. That's the last time Xavier's mother would see him alive. And here, 8-year-old Ucia Garcia. His grandfather Manny Renfro shared these photos from a time they spent together on spring break in San Angelo. Then a set of cousins who lost their lives together, Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez and Jackie Casares, both 10 years old. Their families say they were in the same classroom during the shooting. This is Amory Jo Garza. She turned 10 years old 2 weeks ago on May 10th. She was a fourth grader at Robb Elementary School. Her father, Angel Garza, tells ABC News that she's been found and is now flying high with the angels above, giving advice to all parents not to take a second for granted. Now, since the making of that video package, we have learned of 2 other children that were in Robb Elementary and lost their lives yesterday. Their names are Jayla Nicole Siguero and Nevaeh Bravo. And you can go to KVUE.com and read all the information we have about the victims. It is also where we will update you as we begin to gather those details. Quita.
Good evening, Natalie. I'm Mike Marut here in Uvalde, right at Town Square. The community here in Uvalde continues to mourn the loss of 2 teachers too. We've learned 4th grade co-teachers Eva Morales and Irma Garcia died protecting their students. On social media, 2 people saying that they are Garcia's nephews shared messages of love for their tia. In the posts on Twitter, John and Joey Martinez called Garcia a hero for protecting her students throughout the day, sending out new tweets saying she died with her students in her arms, adding they weren't just students, but like her own kids to her. Eva Morales' daughter also posted to Twitter saying the 2 were the best co-teachers for 4th graders at Robb Elementary. She also made her own post about Morales, saying she will miss her mommy forever and reminiscing on some of what she will miss most: her mother's hugs, her work hard attitude, and jokingly getting her riled up when taking too long to get out of bed in the morning. We've also learned that there were 3 police officers injured in this shooting that happened yesterday at Robb Elementary. Some of those officers injured by the shooter as he ran into the school. And when officers arrived on scene after the initial shooting happened, they were breaking windows to help kids, teachers, and staff escape Robb Elementary. Brian?
Mike, Natalie, Quita, Tony, thank you very much for the hard work there in Uvalde today. Ashley, over to you.